All right, y'all, welcome back to my channel. We are going to get into this good old love and marriage Huntsville reunion, part one, uh, review right now. Let's do it. Let's get started. All right, y'all. So this episode starts off with Carlos kind of walking around to all the dressing rooms in his typical Andy Cohen fashion, right? And he's like asking everybody how they're feeling, getting to know how their glam is going to be looking, all those good things. And then Melody asks him, "Well, who's going to be hosting the show?" And then he says, "Well, it's me." And she's like, "Oh," like Melody is so excited. But it looks like the people that weren't excited were Letitia, Marceau, and of course Martell, because I remember one of them saying, "Oh, now we got to tell the truth," because basically he knows everybody's backstory. So you can't BS him because he has been there for all of your tea and all of your rotten dirt. Okay. So let's get into these fashions. Let's take a look at what everybody has on here. All right, so we have Maurice over here, looking real regular degular, okay? Then I'm loving Kimmy's look, very, like Carlos said, very Jessica Rabbit-ish, okay? I really love her whole look. Kimmy just does no wrong to me. Like Kimmy has a nice body. She really keeps it all put together. I love Mel's dress too. I did see that Rico Chappelle designed her dress, and I remember Rico Chappelle did Candy Burris's dress for her wedding. So he is super talented. I do think that that top part where it's kind of like pointed or whatever, that could have been less gaudy. I don't know, but I really love the dress. Mel has a really nice shape, so I think she does everything really well. Mr. Carlos King here, child. He's looking good. Okay. His outfit looks really, really nice. I love the bright colors. I think that he was kind of like the standout fashion for the guys. Then we get to Martell. Martell over here looking like goddamn Django. I don't know what the hell is going on here. It's very all of his clothes are always very ill fitting, and I just want somebody to help him just get the right size. I mean, how hard is it to get your size? I don't understand. So yeah, it's a no from me. And these bow ties, it's just not giving what it needed to give. Tisha, in this picture, she actually looks okay. But on screen, when she was coming out, baby, that orange was screaming at me. And it was real loud and disrespectful. Okay. It's very loud. It doesn't complement her beautiful chocolate skin very well. I don't like this. And that hill of misery in top of her head, I don't know who told her to tease the top of her head the way that she is. It is screaming Alabama-ish, okay? That hairstyle was garbage. She needed to start over with that and never do it again. The color was just a little too bright, and her hair was just all the way wrong. And Marcel just looking regular degular too. I mean, maybe the Scott brothers was just like, listen, we just gonna walk up in here and look like we going to a charity benefit, not the damn reunion. So I don't know. And then Maurice don't even he don't I mean, neither of them match their women. I don't understand. At least whatever. So that's that on how I feel that the outfits of it all looked for the reunion. Okay. So let's get into this reunion. So the show starts, like I said, it started off with Carlos going around, talking to everybody, and then letting them know that he is actually going to be doing the reunion, hosting the reunion. So everyone comes out, and Carlos asks if they're nervous that he's hosting. And Martell says he has mixed feelings because Carlos knows everything. So basically, you can't BS Carlos. And then they start playing a recap reel of their start to present on the show. So I really liked how they show how the show really has come a long way. So they started out with talking about all of their businesses and all that stuff and how their relationships have evolved as couples, as friends, the comeback group to no not coming back to be together group, all of that. So I really think the show has done really well, and I think that the personalities work well on this show. Very good content. So then Carlo asked how the comments on social media have affected them. And then, come to find out, Tisha actually deactivated her Twitter page. I wonder how long ago she did that, but Homegirl definitely gets flamed on Twitter with or without her Twitter account. So I can understand why she shouldn't take a look at anything anybody is saying, because I can imagine that probably takes a toll on your mental mindset, especially if don't nobody fucking like your ass. So moving right along, but Carlos basically said that in the beginning, he told all of them, don't pay attention to the comments, because it's going to be a lot of people that are going to say things against you. There's going to be some people that like you, but you got to have thick skin. If you decide to put your life on display, like my girl in Jersey says on Real Housewives, you got to make sure that you can deal with it. So Carlos asked if there were any regrets for signing. I'm sorry, y'all. Carlos asked if there was any regrets for signing on to the show for Martell and Mel. Mel says that she's happy about it because there's a lot of doors that have opened for her that otherwise probably would not have opened, or even opened as fast as they have. And she's gotten so many opportunities from it, and she's really grateful. Of course, she's, sad that it ended her marriage or whatever, but overall, she's happy about the outcome. And Martell says he isn't happy about it because, their marriage ended. So I really feel like Martell feels like the show is what created the demise of their marriage, which also here is in lies where Martell never takes responsibility for any fucking thing that he does. Everything is always somebody else's fault. Everything is always something else. It's never him. So it's not because you cheated for 5 years. It's because the TV show put it on display. No, it's because you cheated for 5 years. That's why your marriage is over, sir. It don't have nothing to do with no damn TV show. You could have been done in private. It could have been done on TV. It could have been done around with grandma, grandpa, and all the people of little Huntsville talking about you and your shit that you doing, and your marriage would have been over, sir. Let's make this very clear. I need you, Martell, whatever your middle name is, Holt, to take responsibility for your shit. You fucked up. And that's that on that. So anyway, Martell says he feels it ruined his marriage. He says he only did it because Mel wanted to be on TV. And he feels he helped create Mel's brand because he did all of these things to help her to be famous, like, working really hard to make all this money so that Mel can really have endless opportunities to do whatever she wants to do. And I just feel like, yes, of course, as a spouse, like Mel said, you're supposed to support your spouse's dreams. If somebody comes to you and says, I want to be the next Bill Gates, and guess what, baby, we're going to try to work together so you can be the next Bill Gates. Okay, we're going to do what we need to do. So Martell, you didn't do anything glamorous. You did what a spouse is supposed to do. And might I add, you benefited from it. You on TV, you're making a lot more money than you would have made otherwise. So you benefited from Mel working hard and living out her dreams, so to speak. So Carlos asked how Mel feels about Martell regretting doing the show. And then Martell interrupts saying anything that could have contributed to taking away his family, he regrets it because the show shined a light on his infidelity, and he feels they could have worked on it and moved forward if they weren't on the show, i.e., if we weren't on TV, which he keeps on saying. He keeps spinning this story 50 million ways. He feels like if it wasn't on TV, they would still be together because he feels like he could have. In my mind, I feel like Martell really thinks in his head that he could have convinced Mel to stay in a marriage with him where she's sharing him with some other woman and be okay with it. Sir, you out your rabbit ass motherfucking mind. Okay, Martell, let's be very clear. I don't know if the tight ass clothes that you've been wearing is cutting off the fucking circulation to your dumb ass brain, but you are out of your motherfucking pea brain ass mind. And let's be very clear on that. That woman would not stay with you. Y'all talked, we're gonna get into it. But didn't she leave your ass and get an apartment? She wasn't staying with you, Martell. The show is not what did anything to you. You are what did this to you. You decided to keep dipping your dick in that pussy for 5 years. Okay. You kept on dick diving in this broad whenever you had a chance and not doing anything to salvage your marriage. You fake went to counseling on the show and didn't even want to hear what the damn man had to say. Because why? You don't ever want to accept responsibility for your actions and the things you do. So you constantly said in the show throughout the season, you only want to be with Mel because of for your children. Well, you get your kids every 2 weeks. You see your kids. So you don't need Mel to see your children. Let's be very clear about that. Yes, it's probably easier to have everybody in the same household, but your kids are going to see you guys not being happy together. So you're not teaching them positivity and healthy relationships if that's what you're trying to create for them. Do you want to teach your kids that it's okay to sneak out in the middle of a pandemic and go fuck on somebody else? Do you want to teach your kids that it's okay to cheat on their mama? Is that what you want to continue to teach your children, Martell? Accept responsibility for your shit and move on. Leave Melody alone because she is not checking for you. Clearly. You the one hiding in bushes on dates, coming after her. She's not doing this to you or embarrassing you. And she really don't talk about your shit. She don't even talk about you and old dingbat that you over there fucking on and ruined your marriage for. And you probably sitting there real tight in that suit, visibly and inside, because you ruined your marriage for a fucking bird brain, because that bitch is dumb as hell. And you need to tell her to stop going live on Instagram because she is dumb as a box of rocks. She is definitely not the sharpest knife in the drawer. And I know you are over there slitting your wrist, pissed off that you did what you did for this bird brain hoe. And I'm sorry, I digress, y'all, because he just really pisses me off, not accepting responsibility and blame it. You gonna blame it on this whole daggone national TV show because you lost your wife and your kids, not your dick and your mindset? Okay. Okay, Martell. Anyway, moving right along. So he feels they would still be married if it wasn't for the show, and he would still have his family complete with his wife and his kids. And then he woke up to realize that that's not the case. So anyway, Melody says she would have still divorced Martell's dumbass, whether they were on the show or not. Okay. And Martell says social media influenced her because she kept reading comments all the time from social media about their marriage. That don't have, listen, that don't have shit to do with it, whether it shined a light on it or not. Mel said that she left you before the show even aired. It wasn't no comments then. So I still don't understand why you think that this woman would have stayed with you through all of your foolishness. It's ridiculous. Alphine Holland says, and still wants his wife and family. Absolutely. And still wants them. And guess what? He's not. He's not going to have them. Because he realizes that his little boutique selling clothes girlfriend is not the go-getter that his wife was. And he will never be the power couple that he once was. Let's be very clear about that. So anyway, moving right along. Martell says the comments don't bother him because he probably is the most hated cast member, which is a lie. The comments bother you because the whole season you was constantly talking about Mel and her posts on social media and how she's talking about you, and you stay in somebody a viewer's comments saying something. Like Martell on everybody's page having a comment back and forth if somebody don't agree with him. So you just is in the comments as her. So just stop it. Then he says, with him saying he's the most hated cast member, Tisha and Marceau said, nah, we probably take the win for that. And you're right. Nobody likes you guys because Tisha, you are dumb and listen to everything that Marceau says. And he is dumb because he's the blind. It's the blind leading the damn blind, child. I just can't. Alphine Holland says her family friends, sorors, were telling her the same thing. Absolutely. I would be telling her too. Anybody that loves her should be telling her not to be with somebody that is mentally abusive, out here embarrassing the hell out of her. Mel is a very intelligent, very driven woman. And she don't deserve that. And if he want to be out here in these streets, then let him go ahead. He is for the streets. And there he goes. And even still to this day, he ain't married the side chick. He don't even let her post his picture. So you still not you out here calling her a peasant. You not even claiming her, and she going live looking like a dingbat all the time, always constantly trying to be seen. Nobody is checking for you, ma'am. They're not. She always be like, "Oh, y'all don't know the whole story for real, for real." No, we do know the story. You fucked on somebody's husband for 5 years and fucked up and got pregnant. The end. We don't want to hear what else, girl. What else do we care about? You are nothing to anybody. Let's be clear. You are not the news. Okay. Moving right along. Carlos said they received a lot of questions about why Maurice does not stand up for Kimmy when people call her a side chick. And I'm so glad that Carlos, this right here, with him starting with this let me know that he understood the assignment for being the host of this good old reunion right here. I really appreciate him saying that, because Maurice goes into some dumb logic about, me explaining her not being a side chick is the equivalent of me being an alien. Well, beat me up, fucking Scotty. How about you goddamn say, listen, all you had to do is say, my wife is not a side chick. The end. You could have cut that snake off at the head right at the beginning. But instead, you sitting there looking like mum's the damn word every time somebody says something about her being a side chick. And that is really damaging to your wife's character. And obviously, it bothers her and hurts her that people are saying that. But as her husband, you're not covering her and helping her and protecting her. And she's frankly sick of it. And now you want to give up some dumbass riddle and analogy. I'm so glad Carlos said that. He's like, I don't understand riddles. What's your answer? Why? Like, why didn't you defend her? I'm just like, sir, just say I fucked up. I should have spoke up for my wife. And that's that on that. From here on out, nobody better be calling her a side chick, because she's not. Y'all didn't, we get it. Y'all done explained over and over again. And I really feel bad for Kimmy that she constantly, because now it's starting to get annoying that she constantly has to talk about not being a side chick. And I really feel bad for her, because she really feels like she really has to clear her name, because this is really not her character. And I get it. I get it. You out here, people out here trying to make it seem like you stole somebody's husband and you didn't. So clearly, from what they're saying in the timeline of events, it could be virtually impossible for her to have stolen Maurice from Kiowa, because he was living in Detroit. He filed for divorce before he ever even met Kimmy. Came down here, was living with his brother and his brother's then wife Patricia, which apparently Patricia was done fucking on that Scott dick and went on and found her a new man, and she done with him. And he's sad about it, because Tisha talked about it in her confessionals, and she seems to still be butthurt about it, and it ain't even about her. But whatever, moving right along from that, they cleared up the whole side chick ism. And Kimmy is just like, listen, enough is fucking enough. Y'all stop calling me a side chick. And that's that on that. So anyway, moving right along, Kimmy is just basically like, it's not funny. I don't appreciate you guys laughing about it, because Marceau said, well, we just think it's so laughable because there's no way that you could be a side chick. And Martell was like, yeah, basically Marceau was the one that told me that she was a side chick. Here he go, throwing somebody else under the damn bus all the time. It's never his damn fault. He gonna throw everybody else under the bus in his tight ass suit. I just don't understand. So Maurice says he filed for divorce. Kiowa avoided getting served. And then Carlos asked if they were intimate once they were separated. And Maurice said no, he was not intimate with her anymore. He literally left, 2 days after he found out, I guess whatever pissed him off about Kiowa, to the point of pissivity that he wanted to end his whole damn marriage, child. She must have cheated or something, allegedly. I don't know what she did, but whatever she did, he wasn't having it, and he left her, and apparently his son too, because you just up and leave. I ain't hear you say you took your kid. So then he says he met Kimmy far after he was divorced. Carlos asked Kimmy how are things with her and Kiowa, and she said it's a tall task because they got off on the wrong foot, but they are in a better place now. She even told Kiowa before the season that the side chick stuff was going to come up again because she didn't want them to, backtrack in their relationship and go back to the negativity, which I understand, but and it's really sad that she really has to do all of that to cover her bases to make sure that she can, number one, still be in a good relationship with his ex-wife, which is also the mother of his son, and guard her name, because let's be clear, ain't nobody trying to be out here known as no damn side chick. That's just trifling and grimy. So moving right along, Carlos goes into Mel and Martell's relationship. Lord have mercy, the Mel and Martell of it all. And they do a highlight reel of, basically how their divorce started and where it ended. Okay. And then Carlos asked, how does it feel to relive those moments? And Mel said those were real moments. And the best thing they showed was Milani being born. But it was hard to watch Martell contradict a lot and make up things, saying he isn't a cheater. Which, Martell, why are you saying you ain't no cheater? You got a whole baby with your DNA that says otherwise. How'd she get pregnant? Did we go back into the beginning of the Bible, Martell? Is this an immaculate conception? I don't understand. I don't think God is doing those anymore. It's not happening. So you just own your shit. All you have to do, like literally, just own your shit. Say, listen, I fucked up. I cheated. I fell in love with, I messed around and fell in love with this broad, and I ruined my marriage over it. And I have to now live with the consequences of my foolery. I think America, even Melody, and your children that will see this one day will respect you a hell of a lot more. Instead, you continue to act like the fucking abominable dickhead that you are and continue to make excuses for your behavior. Number one, you never accept responsibility, and then you try to gaslight somebody else to take the light off of you. No, we're still looking at you. We still looking at you because you look stupid and you sound stupid. Moving right along, y'all, because he get on my damn nerves. I just cannot with him. So Carlos says, well, it seems you two were determined to repair your marriage and you were a united front when, they were trying to get through things. And he said the public was rooting for them to stay together and work on things. And then the pandemic happened. So he asked, what made Mel say enough is enough? And she said they were in the house together doing family things, making making hot chocolate and doing all these things, because everybody was supposed to stay put in the damn house. Everything was closed. People was using DoorDash and Instacart and all those good things because why? We couldn't leave our damn houses. But Martell Holt finds a way to carry his dick on to somebody's house. So you, sir, put your family in jeopardy over some pussy. That's what you did. So, of course, Mel wanted to leave your ass because if I just had a baby and you going out in the middle of a pandemic to go and fuck on somebody, you lost your goddamn mind. So Carlos lied. Carlos says, where the hell were you when you were leaving out? Because Mel was like, I found he was constantly leaving the house in the middle of a pandemic. I didn't know where he was going. He kept saying he was going to the gym. So Carlos was like, the gym was closed. So what other things were open? It was open legs. That's what was open. Some legs. It was open legs hours when he was leaving. And it wasn't at the gym. Let's be very clear about that. It wasn't no treadmill, elliptical, hell, stair climber, all that. It was legs opened, bust wide open. Okay. So then, Carlos basically says what I said. He says, Carlos says all of the times to keep your penis in the household, you whipped it out and left out in the middle of a pandemic to fulfill a need and sleep with the other woman. And he asked, how did she get pregnant? What is your son's birthday? And Martell put on that stupid ass smirk and refused to, I prefer not to talk about that. Well, bitch, we know you fucking had a baby. Stop fucking playing around. Oh, you want to conceal his birthday. We already know that the boy was born. I think he was either born in December or January. It's one of those times. And your dumbass side chick is probably going to tell somebody because she is just thirsting for attention out here. They won't let me get on the show and tell my side of the story. Bitch, we don't need to know. We already know. You fucked on somebody's husband and you had a baby. That's it. The end. The shortest story ever. This is the song that will end, okay? You really you lost your mind. You really did. So Mel says there were things Martell was saying about her talking to the other women that really just catered to him continuing to cheat and how he can just cheat better and be deceptive. And it's basically like he was just trying to from what she was saying, he was trying to mold her into thinking it's okay to just let him have his cake and eat it too and go back and forth. And that's just crazy. I just don't understand. Alfine Holland says, Carlos made so plain that even a male friend of mine could get it. I think the baby was born on Milani's birthday. Wow. Wow. That would be very messed up if that baby was born on the same day as his daughter. So that means they're a year apart. This dude is a clown from Cuckoo Town. I just, oof. So Mel goes back and she says she was kind of recapping how she found out about the side chick. So apparently they were all in the house one day and Martell's phone continued to go off because somebody was calling him constantly from a blocked phone number. So he wouldn't answer the phone. I guess he knew that it was the bitch calling him back to back. So Mel answers the phone and she says hello. And the broad was like, I ain't called to talk to you. I want to talk to Martell. I'm like, well, you got some balls on you, bitch. Because you need to know, as the side chick, you do not call after 5. Let's be clear. You do not call on the weekends. Okay. You listen to SZA's song, bitch. You stepping out of line. You're not holding up your end of the bargain. And she was crossing enemy lines. That's what she was doing. She wasn't doing her part. So anyway, she's Martell refused to get on the phone, even still. So Carlos asked Martell about him accusing Marcel. Well, let me continue on that because actually I want y'all to go to Color Me Pink's page after you watch my review here. She actually did an interview with Melody's mother, Miss Vanessa. And in that interview, Miss Vanessa talks about this whole situation where they found out about the side chick, where she calls. Actually, Miss Vanessa was at the house. And Miss Vanessa said that she called Marceau because Melody and Martell were really getting into it. She didn't want them to end up getting some type of criminal, record because they were in there fighting over it. And so she was able to get Melody to leave the house because Melody was extremely upset, obviously, finding out that your husband has been cheating on you. And clearly this has been happening for quite some time because Melody said that she found out 3 years into the relationship. So this dude had been getting away with this for 3 years. Okay. You find out, you're devastated. So Miss Vanessa calls Marceau. And when she calls Marceau, she asks him to come and diffuse the situation. So come to find out, and I think this is probably going to come up, spoiler alert, in the reunion, but Marceau was actually helping Martell cheat. He was hiding. This is allegedly, but go to the interview because Miss Vanessa talked about it. Marceau was helping Martell hide funds so that he could pay for said side chick. Like he was helping to funnel money. So I don't know if that's going to come up during the reunion and how Tisha is going to react to that, because that is going to be really crazy once that comes out. So when Miss Vanessa said that, I said, oh my damn. Okay, that's why Marceau working so much, because he hiding money too. So maybe he do have his 5th baby that people talking about. Because if you able to get money to give, because I remember they said Martell bought this bitch a BMW. So if Marceau was the one that actually bought it for her, he gotta have a whole bunch of money sitting somewhere to be able to have access to that much cash or some great ass credit to be doing all of this stuff and getting away with it and Tisha not seeing it. So I'm interested to see how the rest of this reunion is going to go and if that is going to come up. So then Carlos moves into after the situation and the blow up, him going into saying how Marceau and Melody, Martell was accusing Marceau and Melody of having a thing. And Mel's mom, this then they go into Mel's mom calling Marceau during the 2017 blow up when Mel found out about Martell's mistress to help come and diffuse the situation. So they confirmed that portion during the reunion. So Marceau says he ended up, he called Martell first so that he could talk to him and see what was going on. But Martell apparently didn't answer. So then he calls Mel, and Mel's like, you know, he asked her where she was at. She was at Chick-fil-A. So he meets her at the Chick-fil-A to try to calm her down, which any friend would do. I don't think anything is real. I don't think there's anything behind Marceau and Melody's situation. I think he's just really being a friend. So during that whole situation, I guess they're in the Chick-fil-A parking lot. He's like, listen, let's go grab a drink. We'll talk about it, whatever. So Martell is pissed because he's like, you don't ask my wife to go and get no drink with you, which it's not the same thing. Excuse me, y'all. It's not the same thing. He's not trying to take your wife out for drinks, sir. Let's be very clear. Excuse me, y'all. So it's not like he's trying to take her out on some date and woo her. You need to grow up, Martell. He's trying to diffuse the situation and frankly help your trifling tail out. So he goes on and on, again deflecting, talking about that instead of talking about the issue at hand, which is you just had a side chick calling your damn house, calling your phone blocked, and your wife answered. Let's address that, not the fact that Marceau said, I'm gonna take you for a drink to talk about Martell and his stupidity. It's crazy. So Mel confirms that nothing was going on with her and Marceau. She says Marceau has never done anything inappropriate or made advances towards her. And Carlos asked Martell, why would you think your friend wants your wife? And Martell says, I wasn't thinking that. I just thought the situation was inappropriate. Well, sir, we think you cheating is inappropriate. How about that? When are you going to start thinking the things that you do are inappropriate? Maybe you should stop doing them. So then Mel says he was just saying that because of what he was doing. And I agree. Y'all, this man got me so pissed. My throat dry. So excuse me, y'all. So anyway, Martell chimes in and deflects, saying Mel left him and gave someone fellatio. Here we go with this shit. So you didn't address the fact that this broad was calling your phone over and over and over again from a block number to get your attention. First of all, what happened that she needed your attention so much that she was willing to risk it all and air you out to your wife? Maybe you had been telling her that something was going to go on with your relationship that wasn't going to go on. Maybe you had sold her so many dreams that she was tired of dreaming and she finally woke up and said, listen, I'm going to burst your bubble today. Oh, yes, I am. But you didn't, instead of addressing that and owning up to your shit like you should have, you decide, oh, I'm going to take the light off of me and I'm going to talk about Mel and some damn fellatio. Sir, first of all, I feel like Mel should, if she sucked 5 dicks, she was very well warranted to do so. You literally carried on an entire relationship. And mind you, they said she did it, whatever she did with said individual, she did it apparently during the time that what? She left you. Let's be very clear. So if you didn't want to be, if you no longer wanted to be in the marriage and you no longer wanted to be with her because you wanted to decide to cheat to be with somebody else, the minute you decided that your penis needed to go into somebody else's body, guess what? You should have left your wife. And that's what Mel did. She left you because she no longer wanted your penis inside of her body. So she went and moved on with her life. And during this time of said moving on with life, she got some head. Okay, she got some head. And listen, Mel, I love you, girl. But you saying you don't know whether you gave this man head. Here's what I believe. Okay. I don't really think Mel gave this man some head. I think, typical men. Let me stick the head in, or listen, I'll give you some head. Okay. And they think that once they do that, then y'all gonna go all the way. But Mel seemed like the type that's like, oh, I'm gonna get mine and you get yours later. And later may never come. Okay. Because she seems that type of strong minded woman. And I think that if she did tell Martell in said recording that she gave somebody some head, I think she probably just said that to piss him off and get on his nerves because he had done so much to her. So now she seems like the petty type, and she is a Scorpio, and they real petty, and they gonna drive that knife down your throat and make you feel it. Okay. I feel like she probably did that, just said that to him because he was complaining about her not giving him any head. So now she like, oh, well, I'm gonna tell you I did it to somebody else. That's what I think happened. That's why I think she said, I don't know, because he has a recording. So she didn't want to double talk herself if he did play some recording saying that she did do it, which in all reality, she probably really didn't do it. And she just said it. This is alleged. That's just my opinion about the situation. And at the end of the day, if she did get some head, I don't give a damn. She was gone. And in her mind, she was going to leave you. Alphine Holland says Coleslaw has said much worse things about him than Mel, and he doesn't check Coleslaw. Listen, she is a dumb hoe. That's what she is, so dumb. I honestly, and I'm telling y'all, and I don't even want y'all to give this broad any more attention than she deserves. But I really feel like listening to her, Martell is with Coleslaw, because that's what we're gonna call her. He's messing around with her because she makes him feel smart. That's what it is. She makes him feel like the big man on campus because being behind Mel, being behind such a strong woman, Martell wants to be the center of attention. But he's not going to be the one doing. He's not the person to do speaking engagements. That's not his thing. But he wants Mel to put him on this pedestal that he hasn't even earned the right to stand on. Let's be very clear about that. You in your head have built yourself up to this individual that you, sir, are not. You are not the protector. You have not covered your wife. You have not covered your children with the way that you have treated them and destroyed this family over your own selfish needs. Of all things, I saw the season where y'all tried to work on your marriage, where she made your ass sleep downstairs and all that, and then y'all started trying to work on it. You could have turned things around at that point. You talk about going to the altar and trying to give it over to God, trying to get over this chick. You didn't do it though. Something in you, your selfishness, your need to do what you want to do and please yourself and not give a damn about anybody else, led you to continue to do the foolishness that you continue to do to this day. To this day. And you still, as y'all are no longer married, y'all are no longer one, you still continue to try to embarrass this woman instead of it doing the very same thing that you should have done in the beginning that could have prevented all of this. And you could still have your family. You could be done with Coleslaw. You wouldn't have this baby that, I feel like kids are a blessing no matter how they come, but you probably wouldn't have this baby that you brought into the world, into the midst of y'all foolishness and selfishness. If you had have stopped thinking about yourself. Simple. Selfish. That's what you are. So anyway, Martell says, I wasn't thinking that. I just thought the situation was not. I'm sorry. Moving right along from that, y'all. I was going back into the damn Marceau stuff. So then after the whole fellatio situation, Martell says, no, she basically says, you told me that you did it. And he asked her again, did she perform fellatio when she moved into the apartment, and go over the timeline of when she moved. And this is when Carlos was asking too. And this is when Mel was saying she didn't remember, blah, blah, blah. Like I said, I don't think she did it. I think she just said it to hurt him. And she trying to cover her ass from whatever recording he has. And she said she was seeing a guy that while they were separated. And then Carlos said, it's hard to believe she can't remember putting her mouth on something. And Mel maintains that she doesn't remember and doesn't think she did. But whatever. Anyway, moving right along from that, girl. If you suck the dick, you suck the dick, whatever. He did so much worse. And again, two wrongs don't make a right, because technically y'all were still married. However, I respect the situation because you actually removed yourself from the home, and you had intentions of, at that point y'all are separated. So it is what it is. I'm moving on with my life, and you have already moved on, as you've already moved on with yours, sir. So then Carlos asked if she stayed with Martell all these years because she did not want the other woman to win. First of all, Martell ain't no damn prize. So let's be very clear about that. Don't nobody give a good goddamn. And that bitch ain't win, because he still ain't claiming her. He doesn't even say her name. He don't post her. She's not allowed to post him. When he took her, I think he took her somewhere for her birthday. He wouldn't even let her take a picture of him with her. He wouldn't let her show his face. So he doesn't even want to be seen with her. And quiet as it's kept, he took some other broad to some charity event recently. He parading around other broads. He ain't thinking about her. She ain't win nothing. So the prize is definitely not Martell. And Mel is definitely not looking to win. So Mel says she's not in competition with anyone, and I know that's right, ma'am. You ain't in competition with no damn body but yourself. I'm gonna be better than I was yesterday, not about some man. Nobody cares about Martell. We really don't. So she says she found out in 2017 she stayed when he cheated, and she stayed because she understood he has imperfections, and she was giving him a chance to get it together. She has a hard time being anything but a co-parent with Martell because he's always lying and making up stuff. And I get it, because when somebody is constantly trying to tear you down because mentally they cannot accept what they've done, so they constantly want to try to drag you down with them and try to make you look as bad as they do instead of actually accepting responsibility for their actions. That is very draining. And I don't want to have no parts of you. I feel Carlos was wrong on this. Martell loves Martell, period. Absolutely. That's the only person he loves. Because all these posts that he try to put up of his kids, because people have this image in their minds that, oh, Martell is a great father, he's a great dad. Yeah, he is, but he constantly got to try to, you don't care about social media though, but you constantly trying to put stuff on social media to gas the people up and give it to the people and make them think that you're a great dad. Sir, show them that you're a good father by showing your other kid. How about that? Be a good father to 5 kids, not 4. Let's do that. Let's do that, Martell. Carlos says he had hope for them getting together, but unfortunately a woman got pregnant. And he asked Martell if he thought Melody would ever leave him. And Martell says no, actually he didn't think she would leave. And that's where you pea brain motherfucker is stupid. Why the hell would you think that this woman wouldn't leave you? Why? Why would you expect somebody to stay with you and allow you to constantly disrespect them? The nerve of you. The nerve of you. You, oh my gosh, I cannot with him. And he says it's not about him cheating on the baby. He said he really tried to get it out of his system because he knew it was hurting his family and it was hurting Melody. But I guess it wasn't hurting your penis because you kept on dousing it inside of this bitch. So then Carlos asks, is it the fact that you could not stop cheating or you couldn't stop cheating with her? Ha ha. He couldn't stop cheating with her. That's what it is. Martell don't want to admit that he did care about that chick. I think that Martell cared. He loved the thrill. The thrill is now gone. Now that his family, it's not fun anymore because now he has full access to her. He can go over there whenever he wants now. She's not what she's not long term. That never was something that he wanted to actually be with. He don't want to claim her. Now, I don't doubt that Martell actually cares about that woman because nobody is going to sacrifice their whole marriage and what they know and their success for something if they don't really care about them. But I really don't think, because Martell doesn't ever take responsibility for his actions, he didn't think that he was going to have to suffer the consequences of his actions. He thought, like Mel said, that he was going to convince her to be sister wives with this hoe. He really thought he was going to have these bitches out here being super sister wives, which is very stupid. And any pea brain man that thinks that, please go back and rethink it. Don't you ever think that thought again, like my girl said in her song. Telltale that sign, okay? So Carlos said, people think you're a sex addict, but I don't think you're an addict. When he learned he was leaving the house during a pandemic, there had to be something more to this. Carlos says he thinks Martell called her a peasant and tried to diminish her because he did not want to accept the reality that he, in fact, loves the side chick. And Carlos asked Martell if he met the side chick before Mel, would he have married her? And Martell sits silent until the show ends. Here's my thing. Martell just wants to, I feel like him being quiet that whole time. Number one, is just a way for us to lead into the next episode. We got to get the ratings up, right? And two, I think it's just to hurt Mel. Because here's the reality. She wasn't even old enough for him to be dating her around the time him and Mel was together. He would have went to jail. Because that's how young she is. The bitch just turned 30. Okay. So that's first and foremost. Second of all, no, he wouldn't have married her. I feel like Martell is, first of all, he probably was that big-eared, mouse-faced looking kid in school that was not attractive. And then he grew into himself playing football at school. He didn't have no daddy growing up. He just had his mama, and his mom probably couldn't give him all the attention that he really wanted. So now he's grown up. He saw in Mel, because Mel talks about, if you go back to the first season, she talks about how he literally scooped her up on her graduation day because he didn't want her to leave Huntsville. Melody keeps talking about how she hates Huntsville. Y'all got to listen to her. She wanted to move away from Huntsville when she graduated from Alabama. A&M, I think that was where she went to. She wanted to move away. And Martell knew that. So he proposed to her to try to keep her there. Why? Because he saw something in Melody. He knew that he had a gem in that woman. A man that finds a wife finds a good thing, and that is a real thing. And he found a good thing, but he ruined it. And now he has to accept it. And his life will never be prosperous where he would like it to be until he accepts it. And he needs to publicly acknowledge that he fucked up. And he needs to stop publicly trying to embarrass the mother of his children over his foolishness. He needs to be a man, stand up, grab the 2 balls that God gave you, grab them, and be a man and own your shit. That's what he needs to do. Until you do right by Mel, you will never, ever get anything in your favor. Okay? And that's that on that. So, y'all, that's my review for Love and Marriage Huntsville. Because she was his way to punish Mel, he could and can still hurt her with this girl. She was the stick to beat her with when he got mad as MAF. Yeah, I agree. But I feel like Mel done moved on, child, and she just annoyed by Martell at this point. And she knows that she's the belle of the ball. She ain't checking for Shorty. Ain't nobody thinking about that broad. She need to just go ahead and stop going live talking about Mel, because Mel ain't thinking about her at all. So while she over there packing up her boutique dresses, Mel is selling these shirts. Okay. And that's that on that. God said go, boo-boo, and she did. And I'm right there with her. All right. So thank you guys for watching. I truly, truly appreciate it. Please do not forget to like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. And please don't forget to share this video with your friends and anybody that you know that watches this show too. And again, I will catch you in the next video. Peace out.